Hi guys, welcome to Fishing Tackle channel. This is a talk trip, first trip of 2022 for me. I went last week, I think it was April 16th, I believe, out of Fisherman's Wharf. This is a Thelma 4, I believe. It's a head boat or party boat or open party boat. So uh, if you're watching this, I would assume that you're looking for information about fishing in either Delaware or Maryland, or just some deep sea fishing that you haven't done before. So, if you are a beginner, this is a perfect video for you. If you've been fishing out here, this is old news, and you probably have more information than I do. So, if you're a beginning fisherman or someone interested in fishing for the first time in Delaware or Maryland, this is a video for you. For the rest of you, you guys could just check it out, and you could leave a comment and help other folks with additional information or suggestions, recommendations you have. But yeah, this is a tog trip, a tautog or blackfish, what you call in the East Coast. It's a price fish, but it's not an easy fishing experience. It's a very challenging depending on where you go. So if you are eager to catch uh, some tog or blackfish, I would rather recommend going on a charter. A charter with a captain that will put you on a fish is a better way to go. This, like a head boat, I'm not a huge fan of charter just because it's a easy fishing, right? It's for maybe with families that just wanna just when you want some inclusive fishing experience, exclusive fishing experience without strangers. But if you want to just meet new people, just hang out in the sea quietly without being bothered, right? To decompress. For me, it's like almost like meditation. This is the way to go. It costs a lot less. So charter will cost you with six people, I don't know, anywhere between $160 to $200 per person for an 8-hour trip. Um, One of these head boats would cost you between, if you're going out Delaware, usually around 115. I believe this one is 115, and I think out of Bowers Beach, right? Is it Judy V or Judy 5 or um, Captain Bob's? They are around 115. If you go to Ocean City, like Anglers or the one I'm signed up for next week, I'm going on a talk trip for the first time on Judith M, and they're much cheaper. They're in the range between $85, 80 and $90 or something like that for an 8-hour trip, and they're pretty good too. They're much cheaper than Delaware. So for these fishing, you don't need a separate license. It's all inclusive. The baits that they give you, the captain will provide you with the mates will provide you with the baits, and all you have to do is just relax and fish. For this trip, I was fortunate enough to go on Saturday, and it was pretty empty. I think we had total about 10 or 11 people on the boat. So yeah, a lot of shoulder room for this fishing trip. I really enjoyed it because I was able to, just relax, look out in the sea. There's not many people. They're all friendly, right? So if you're new to the region, I'm Asian American. So if you're Asian American, reluctant to go somewhere in this area where there isn't a heavy Asian community, I've only had great experience in Delaware and Ocean City. I would say if you meet the fishermen, any fishermen, like real fishermen, right? Not tourist fishing people, avid fishermen are 99% or 99, like 100 out of 100 people you meet, if they're avid fishermen, not just some tourist or first time fishermen, They're super friendly. They will help you if you ask questions. They will answer. They'll go out of their ways to get you on fish, and even if you don't catch, they're gonna offer you extra catches that they have. So, yeah, it's a great chance to make friends. I mean, I had several gentlemen on this trip, giving me a bunch of tips, talking to me, sharing their experience and things like that, and got to know their name. So it was very relaxing and enjoyable day. Uh, so this Tog fishing, I went by myself just because my it's too cold for my daughter. And usually Tog fishing, I try not to take any friends that don't know how to fish because you get a lot of snags. So Tog fishing, you pay a lot of money and you only get to keep four if you do catch four. Here, I think you've seen two of them. I caught total of about six, and I think I missed a couple bites, so total of uh, maybe nine that I could have caught, but they're all short, and three or four I couldn't hook them, so I lost them. So the six that I caught, they were getting bigger and bigger, but for Tog it's about 16 inches for a keeper right now, and I think I had about 15 and 3/4, but it was just way too close, so I threw it back. So, but I really enjoyed it. I think Thelma, out of Fisherman, Wharf, last year for some reason I went a couple times. Got some bad reputation, but this trip the captain worked hard. The mate was very helpful. Overall, I don't know why it wasn't fully packed. I would say maybe the price, $115, and the gas price lately. I'm pretty sure that's not helping, and the fact that this was the first trip of the year, so I think people were reluctant to go. I think I was planning on going to Judy V, maybe about 20 minutes down Delaware. They were actually, I think they take about 25, 30 people on their boat, much smaller, but they're sold out for the same day trip. But I think nothing would have been different, to be honest. I'm glad I took this boat, although I love going to Judy V. But here, like the bathroom, right? It's pretty clean. It flushes, and you're gonna have to have your own hand sanitizer and some hand wipes, but you have a full bathroom that you could use, that you could flush without an issue. But it was also a windy day, so I it was pretty cold. I'm glad I didn't bring my daughter. But here you go. I caught another fish, a good sized one, but it just didn't make the cut. It wasn't big enough, but I really enjoyed it. The reel that I'm using is a conventional reel, and that I bought from AliExpress. I have a video for that. But overall trip, I think I would consider this more of a survey trip. If I would recommend, I don't know, I don't own a business, but just my standpoint, that gentleman, he caught a keeper. I think he caught about 18 or 19-inch Tog, a big fat one. He caught it with clams. So that day they were using green crab. They gave us as a bait live green crab and clams. So fresh clams. So I think I caught at least 3 of them from clams, and then rest of them, I think 3 or 4 or so with green crab. So definitely don't bring your own baits. I brought my own shrimp and it wasn't really working. Use what they give you. And then one tip, 2 tips that I have for if you're getting ready to go out on Tog fishing, is that you're probably gonna do a double rig, right? High and low rig or so. Always go with the same kind of baits. I think people, or including myself, I was going with crab on the bottom and clam on the top. That gentleman that caught the big one, he caught it with clam on the high and low rig. For me, all 6, I think except for the first 2, small shorts. The bigger ones that were closer to a keeper, I think about three or four of them. No, about four of them were all caught with green crab on top and bottom. I think what I think personally is that when you have clam attracts a lot of trash fish, right? Including like other fish that's around. So Tog is competing for this bait, and if you have small baby fish around, bait stealers around, that's probably going to keep the big togs from biting. So once I switch both top and high and low rigs, hooks with green crab, that's when I started catching only tog and a pretty good sized tog. So I would recommend sticking to either just clams to see if one of them will be available for tog and will get the attention, or just if you just want to avoid any other fish, small fish, then go with. So this one I go with green crab on top and bottom. This one was close. This one is the one that was I think about 15 and a 3/4. I could have probably stretched it. The gentleman next to me said that looks like 16 inch, but I decided to throw it back. It was just too close. I love eating that fish, but again, you know, I'm a rule follower, and when I come to fish, it's not about keeping, right? It's the the atmospheric that I really enjoy. So it's great if you're looking to catch four fish. The limit, go with the charter. Do not go with these head boats, or if you don't have enough money, I would say I would recommend it. For someone like me, I really enjoy just getting out there. It was a little bit windy, but it's very comforting, right? Getting away from work, getting away from the city, just relaxing. Almost like some people go exercise. Some people do Pilates or yoga. For me, just fishing. Even if I don't catch keepers to eat, it was very nice way to decompress from work and everything else, and just think about things and reflect on my life. So this is a great hobby. I would recommend. I mean, I guess some people like golf. I enjoy fishing, so I recommend this boat. I wish there were more people. I kind of feel bad for the business. I know they used to thrive. I remember 2 years ago, this place was packed, the boat. Again, captain changed, and I think the captain that took us out today on this day was great. I didn't have any issue. So if you guys want to go take a chance, do it. I think you just need to understand how to fish tog, and you're gonna catch plenty of them. You're gonna get plenty of bites. The captain really tried hard, and it was getting close. So another tip that I forgot to mention is once you let the line go, don't move. That's a tip somebody else who limited with four told me on another trip, not on this boat. But he told me once you drop it, let the line go a little bit more than once it hits the bottom, the weight, your sinker. Just stay still. That's all you need to do. And the tog will do its own job. Once it bites, it's gonna crush it and hook it itself, and all you have to do is just pull it up. But you can't jig up and down and keep moving it around. Once you drop it, give it a little bit of a line, and like stay still, and eventually you're gonna get a bite, because the captain definitely got us on the right location. And once I did that, initially I didn't, and then I remember, and once I let that bait just stay put, I started getting bites. So I was getting plenty of bites, and I caught a pretty good sized one. So that's my recommendation for you to just take your time and don't move and let it just sit there and just be patient, and you're gonna get plenty of fish. But I really wish Fisherman's Wharf does more of a maybe reduced cost to help people. I know the gas price is high, but I think better than having 10 people for $115. Why not have 20, 25 people for $75 per person? If it were $75, I would have been there today and yesterday maybe, and probably next week too, to fish. $115 is pretty steep for most people. I could afford it, but still, I can't afford to go every week. That's a lot of money. That's a car payment for a month. So, like, that would be my recommendation, and I think the captain would definitely get having more people. You would see with the captain putting us on the right location. I think we would have seen a lot more keeper fish, and I would have bet, like, from my experience that day, I think out of 10 people, at least half or more people enjoyed it, and I think they're gonna come back for it. And after I check out the Judith M, which is much cheaper, I'm gonna check that out and see if I like it. And I'm gonna go back to Fisherman's Wharf to see how the Black Sea bass fishing goes. But overall, I really enjoyed it. But anyways, what else should I be covering? For talk fishing, it's pretty much until I think May 15th, and starting May 15th, all the boats switch over to Black Sea bass. So that's much easier fishing, and you could keep up to 15 fish. So that's something that you should look out for. If you're gonna start fishing in Delaware or Maryland, I would highly recommend. If you're new to fishing, start with that. Don't start with Tautog. If you start with Tautog, you're gonna hate fishing out here. If you start with Black Sea bass, you're gonna be obsessed. You're gonna want to go fishing every weekend, because Black Sea bass, you get to keep 15, and most of my trips I've caught over 15 Black Sea bass, bluefish, porgy, all kinds of fish, and starting mid-May all the way up to November, December. So it's great fishing out here in the East Coast. I can't wait to go back to California. I have families in California, so I plan to go back in a couple months, and I'll have those videos. So if you're watching this, please subscribe. Based on your comments, and please leave a comment if you have questions. If you want me to make certain videos, I'm more than willing to help. Again, I want to focus most of my videos on tackle, fishing tackle, and tips and things like that. I think there's plenty of videos that just show people catching fish, so I want to do something different. Again, one thing I recommend is don't ever rent a rod from a boat. So most of these boats gives you they don't have the best rods. I think charter boats do have good rods. There are other more high-end head boats in like Ocean City that do have good rod and reel, but most of the rod and reel places, I think the only advantage of renting a rod is that it includes all of your sinker and the rigs, which could cost you like a couple bucks. If you don't know how to make it, it could cost anywhere between $4 to $5 or more dollars. Sinker itself could cost you like $3 in most places. So renting a rod, that's the only advantage. But if you want to have a good experience, buy yourself, invest about $100 in rod and another $100 in reel. You could easily get pretty good ones. I have a bunch of videos on my channel about rods and reels that you could buy. A really good one that's comparable to high-end Daiwa and Shimano. You don't really have to go with those. So check those videos out, and if you have questions, again, leave a comment and I'll be happy to answer them. But this is how it is. I mean, for 8 hours, I kind of wanted to share this with you to show you how it feels like to be out in the ocean. For me, it's really relaxing. So one tip about not getting sick is don't look down on the wave. You see how, like, yeah, it's almost like an illusion effect of the wave going up and down. look out to the sky and the horizon, and the wind is blowing hard on this camera and the mic, but it's not that bad. It's nice and cool. It wasn't the waves weren't that bad. Just overall, it was a great experience. I mean, I came home and I think I slept like 9-10 hours straight. I had the best night of my sleep in a while, and so it was very relaxing. I came back very relaxed. It's almost like 8 hours of, like I said, meditation, and it was a good experience because, again, other fellow fishermen were very friendly. They were quiet. You didn't have any drunk people or anyone making unnecessary chant. Yeah, believe it or not, I've been on a boat where there's some other small boats, private boats, coming up chanting political stuff. I'm like, dude, I paid $115 to come out to the sea, so I don't have to deal with that, right? I don't care if you're right or left. I just don't want to hear it. Period. Like, I don't think any of the fishermen, when they go home and they talk about politics and everything, but when they're out here, they don't care. Everybody is a fisherman, so like, please just fish and don't bring politics in here. I only discuss about fishing, and that's what I try to do. Ask for tips, talk about where you bought your rods, how you like it, and things like that. But I hope I addressed most of the things that people may be interested in. I'll make more videos. So please subscribe, and again, if you have any questions, leave a comment. If I missed anything and you know more about fishing, please feel free to leave a comment. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for another fishing video.